Hey everyone, so today's video we are taking a look at the buffs from Atalann with the update here. One thing that they did do is they kind of changed her kit a little bit without telling anybody. But on her ultimate, other than what I talked to you about yesterday, they actually changed defense down 2 to attack down 2. Now, I think this does have some implications that I think you're supposed to pair her with, somebody that can bring attack down too. I've seen a lot of videos already that people are using Huntress Freya in their teams with Rosalie, which is really cool. So the team I'm going to show you today actually is different than that. I do not use Rosalie. I use Kaysen. Because I've been trying to make this loser work for I don't know how long. So the team does work and it's nice, but it's just a huge investment. So they did change this from defense down to attack down 2. Their mindset with this, I think, was the fact that her A5, now it procs and it deals this 300% damage and ignores 100% of the target's defense. So, putting defense down 2 on the boss whenever her Ascension is ignoring the defense anyway just didn't seem relevant. So they put the attack down 2. Now for my team that I'm going to show you, the attack down 2 actually is helpful. Like, this is a good thing for my team. So this is her gear. It's kind of just some random gear. She does need enough focus to land debuffs, but I have her built-in damage to help with the wave clearing for Kaysen, because that is kind of where he struggles, right? But this damage is actually huge, right? This 300% damage ignoring the target's defense, it melts like 3 bars off of the boss. It's pretty interesting. So the team that we're running here on stage 20 is this team right here. So I've got Kaysen, I've got Florence, which is in a salvation set. Now I know this sucks, but the requirement for this salvation set is not very high. We'll talk about, the stats and stuff after that. But I've seen the Rosalie team. The Rosalie team is basically Rosalie, Adelan, you have Huntress Freya, and then you also have Savannah. There's 2 or 3 videos out now. There's one by Krabeg, Ice Medical, and then Yoxis. All of them are using the same team. So if you want to go check out their videos, just, look that up, Ash 20, and then Yoxis or Ice Medical or Krabeg. And it's there. But this is the team I'm using, and it does work. So essentially, Kaysen does a crap ton of damage, along with Adelan, who's doing a crap ton of damage on her Ascended 5. I'm using Nero in there to help with clear the waves, enough damage from the Florence. She also puts increased damage taken on the boss, which helps inflict more damage from the minions whenever Adelan's trait procs. So we'll go in here. I'll show you the run. So I did 10 runs of this, and I did have 1 fail on background, but I think I know why it was. And it was because Florence's focus was too low. She wasn't landing her increased damage taken, and that ended up making us fail, but I think I've since corrected it. So here, I need enough damage out of my Adelan in order to let Kaysen clear the waves, because he needs this full rage bar before we get to the boss, or it's a fail, because he's the one who's triggering all of the minions. So here, we're about to get to the boss. As you see here, this Nero and Adelan are helping us clear these waves. So once you get to the boss, you'll see this bar. So this bar's at 8 bars, right? Adelan goes in. She puts up the attack down 2 and the unhealable. This is really important because this boss hits very hard, but but you'll see right here the freeze, and then all that damage, it goes all the way down to 4 bars. It's huge damage. And then Kaysen goes in here and he's doing a nice chunk as well. So we did not have defense down up on the boss. I think the spell went away, or we didn't have enough focus from Florence, but we still end up getting enough damage out here because of the procs from Adelan. So this is one of the weird things with her kit. I don't know if there's some kind of cooldown or what, but you saw there that the minions actually didn't proc their attack on the boss this time. I don't know what triggers that and what doesn't, but we are going to get enough damage off on the minions to proc it this time. So yeah, it ends up killing them. So in the end, you really don't even need the defense down 2. The reason why the change to the attack down 2 instead of defense down 2 is good for this team is because when the boss does his very first turn, in the past, if you didn't run Atara in this team, Kaysen would just die. So now, we have the ability to not run Atara. So this team here, this run actually might be a fail. No, it isn't. He didn't have the splash damage on his last attack there, so it was close to being a fail, but we still got through it. So again, yeah, this attack down 2 is really important on this boss because whenever he does his first AoE and then follows up with the bomb, if you don't land that attack down 2, he can easily, kill the Kaysen, and that's why the salvation set from Florence is actually kind of important. So I'm still trying to figure out when her trait procs and when it doesn't, if there's some kind of cooldown. I'm just not sure because on this attack, Kaysen is still killing the minions. You can see it proc here. So there's the rebirth. See, and that time it procced. And then it procced again. So it's a faster run this time. It's got I don't know what the cause is, but it's a little wonky. That is definitely one of the more faster runs because you killed him just on the second set of attacks, where on the first run you saw that it killed him on the third set of attacks. So this team's pretty quick. It's right around a minute 30, I think, on average. So if you can find ways to get that, to kill the boss just on the second round of attacks instead of the third, figuring out what's actually triggering the trait from Atalann, then you'd be in good shape. But until then, I've watched it I don't know how many times. I'm just trying to figure out why it isn't triggering sometimes on the second one. But I'm kind of lost. But I've put out videos like this before, and then people will PM me, and they'll tell me why it wasn't working. So hopefully you guys can find that out after looking at this a couple different times. So again, the really important thing is for Kaysen to have that full rage bar, which is why he's at the back of the turn order. Sometimes he'll jump ahead with some speed. I don't know where this comes from. It looked like that was kind of just a glitch, actually. But there's that first round where we get the death immune from the imps. We have plenty of health here because that attack down. There was also a deflect, but even when there's no deflect, because the attack down's up and the salvation set, we're still surviving. So here, let's see if it procs again this time. So here's the counterattack. So nothing there. Here's the death immune, and he kills him. So yeah, I don't know. You saw it on the first run. Anyway, so that was a minute 36. Not too bad. The Rosalie team, I think, is faster. I think it's like 110 to 120, I think I've seen. So if you're more for speed, you can use the Rosalie team, like I said, that many people have put out. And I think the nice thing is, I'm not sure because it's all in foreign languages for me, but I'm pretty sure you don't need to have Atalann booked. You just need her A5. The problem is you will need a good Wrath set on your Rosalie. So you're going to have to be able to, or you should have been farming Queen a lot. I haven't farmed Queen at all, so everybody's kind of just in assassin sets and things like that. So let's go over the gear real quick. She is A5. She is kind of somewhat booked out. I think she's missing like 3 books. Yeah. So she's missing the cooldown on her ultimate, which doesn't matter because you killed the boss within 2 to 3 turns anyway. This attack boost, like all of this stuff is only going to matter for arena, things of that nature. Like I said, she's in broken sets. The only thing that's important is that she's pumping out enough damage to help with clearing the waves. She has to have enough focus to land the unhealable and the attack down. But most of her damage is obviously coming from her trait. All of this attack stat is just for the waves. Broken sets again. She is in this Raptor set. Her relics I don't think matter just because all of her damage comes from her trait on the boss. It might matter if you're failing on the waves. Maybe you just don't have enough damage coming out of your support heroes to clear that. Nero, I mean, I have a pretty strong Nero. He's got 202 speed, 353 crit damage, 6,600 attack, and 4,000 defense, and he is on Avarice, which helps, increases damage on those waves and even against the minions, but Kaysen himself is really, the driving force behind that. We do have Flarence. Flarence is, like I said, in Salvation set. It's a decent set. She's got speed and health and all those things. She's got some decent focus rolls. I've got a focus necklace on her, and then health, speed set, and then she's got a Grail of focus on here with her ultimate also having some focus, so that might matter. These are her overall stats. She's the fastest in the team because I have her putting up the defense down. At least I think I was running defense down. I actually don't even know. I should look at that real quick. Yeah, okay, defense down, yeah. So that was the reason for that. One last screenshot of her stats here, overall stats. So yeah, her speed and her focus are definitely the most important thing. You do need some bulk so she doesn't die and explode the bombs when the boss puts them up, but you should be fine there. And then last but not least is our good friend Kaysen here. Kaysen is an assassin set because we care more about his damage on the boss than his damage on the minions. He has 7,900 attack. I didn't even know that it was that high. Like, even though I showed a stage 20 team, I know these stats and gear requirements are just like through the roof. So I'm sorry that I can't bring you anything that's relevant, but for the 1% of people out there that have an A5 fully booked Kaysen, yeah, there you go. That's what it is. For his relics, he does have really relevant, substats here. Damage against fire heroes, special ability crit damage, that's his counterattack. Crit damage is up. Damage dealt scales with the target's current health, so he does a lot at the beginning. His ultimate ability, crit damage, is high, and then he also deals bonus damage equal to max health. Special ability crit damage increases speed. That's why he's jumping ahead sometimes. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, so some relevant items there. Damage against fire heroes again. Flat health. Sometimes you want to keep those flat health relics. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so that's that team. Now, the other build that we have on her, because I hear she's kind of bugged. shocker, is just hyper speed. So 364, we're not really even taking advantage of her true strike, but we do have high attack just in case she does. And she's only got about 151 focus. So I've seen a team already here in Arena where you can see what her trait does in Arena. It's almost solely like this is, it's so situational, right? But I'm going to show you anyway. So here, the Divine Yolanda actually has the most attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to trigger Oderic, right? We're going to trigger his death immunity whenever he goes down to 1% health. That's what's going to happen. He's going to go down there, and you're going to see damage against Divine Yolanda. So there's the death immunity, and then he basically attacked Divine Yolanda. Because she had the highest attack, the ally, which is what her trait reads, right? Okay, when death immunity triggers, at the same time, the enemy deals 150% damage to their ally with the highest attack. So Divine Yolanda had the highest attack, and then it dealt 300% damage to her while ignoring 100% of her defense. So that's what took place there. So now we're going to try and find a fire hero and see if her special ability, which is the other thing that got changed, is actually working or not, because I hear it isn't. Okay, so we'll test it on Alicia here. If we outspeed her, which we should, because she is faster. Okay, and that's her benefit, right? All right, so no one has immunity on, okay? So this should freeze her, right? Deals 160% damage and applies frozen, and then if the target is a fire enemy, then applies frozen to another random enemy. So let's see here. So here's the freeze, and it did freeze the Vengeful Hassle. So that's working. I saw one of the CCs say that it wasn't working. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of cool. It's a good change, for sure. I don't know. We actually didn't see there if that could be resisted. That was another thing that I wanted to see. Let's see if Ice Medical has immunity on his Dark Neck. He does. Okay. So now the other thing that we want to test is if this strips the immunity first and then puts up freeze. So it does. Nice. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's what we wanted her to do, right? The fact that it can strip immunity, I think, makes her pretty relevant in the meta, for sure. Her speed plus being able to strip buffs, really nice. Also have, a decent first turn play against an Alicia where you could possibly freeze another hero. The thing is if, one of these heroes is running immunity, you have, a 33% chance of it landing on them and it doing nothing. But her speed alone with the strip and now something relevant on her special ability, I think does make her useful. I'm going to keep her booked. I'll have her at A5 because now I can farm Ashe. And that's basically what I wanted. Now for other players, if you're trying to get to stage 19 on Ashe Magisteria, let's just go in here. Let's take out Kaysen, and let's just see if she can get the job done by herself with like an Atara. Let's just do some tests here. And if you guys want to stop the video, thanks for watching, all that stuff, but we're testing some things live. So she's not in a damage build, right? She's just in there for her trait. you might actually need her on a damage build. Or I don't know if we're going to clear this. Yeah, and we're going to die here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So maybe we don't go with the Tara. Maybe we just go with another damage dealer. Oh, let's go with Rosalie. Rosalie is booked, though. Well, we already know. I was gonna try something different without, a Huntress Freya or a Rosalie, but a lot of people do have Rosalie. We could try Bocce with Nero. We need to find ways to actually trigger the... Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get into this. That's that's all I got, guys. I think she's useful. I think she's a solid hero. She pairs well with Anamaros, all of those things. She's going to be really good in Void Tower, Mythic and things like that. So, decent hero. If you're looking to clear Ashe and do, some quick runs on 20 or 19, she's probably worth the A5. But other than that, like, if you're really into PvP and you just want the speed gear and stuff, from Ashe, then she's probably worth it. If not, I don't know. Maybe I don't even know what to tell you. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll catch you later.